Well, finally got the site loaded again and got to watch Clay Lamache. I was not really impressed with her race. I'd like to... Now, she shipped all the way to Quebec. There was some sickness in the barn. I'm going to take it at face value for now. And then one of the other guys there, one of the French drivers, decided he was going to hook her wheels. That was cool too. But I don't really think it impeded her in an immense way. We'll wait. But I would expect a huge improvement from that particular race.
Okay, there's no rumble strips here, so you're going to have to...
Hey, I'm a professional. Who's next?
Country dancing.
Country dancing, I'm going to start country dancing. I think she's going to get better and better and better. I can't give her an A+ because she is going to get better. And I'm not even going to give her an A, straight A, because I think there's a good horse in there, but I still need to see more consistency, more forward progress, and a little more eye of the tiger. I'm going to give her an A-. It's pretty hard not to drift into the A's when you have a horse that paces 52-4 in the Arden. But this is the same horse that was 4th at 1-9 in the maiden. So I'm going to need to see better effort, more consistent effort, but I think speed-wise, I think she's a nice filly. She's an A- right now for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree.
You have nothing further on the matter?
No.
Okay, who's next?
Next is...
Yeah, Addie, yeah.
Can I have another one?
No, not yet. No, we're not eating chocolate all afternoon. We're going to eat lunch after.
Dancing by myself.
Dancing
Turned
by,
out, right?
Turned out, yeah. We don't need to, we'll abstain.
Is he still turned out?
Yeah, I'm going to give him lots of time. He interfered. He hit the same place Gypsy did. And I just felt that...
It's not... It doesn't say that on here. Usually it says in brackets.
It doesn't say that he's turned out? Oh, we got to fix that. Good point. So he's turned out. Next.
Okay. Fire and Shine.
Fire and Shine was probably one of the most impressive miles 2 weeks ago. She didn't light the world on fire, but that was a big mile from a filly that we didn't expect a lot from. I thought she was super impressive. She's got the 9-hole at Northfield. I really wanted to race her in a B track, 5/8, and one of our clients said, I think you missed the boat by not putting her in the maiden in Scioto. I really don't want to ship a horse 3 hours in the heat to race in a maiden either. So we'll race her this week at Northfield and we'll go from there. It wasn't just the change to the 5/8. We changed her bridle, changed a lot with her last week. I want to see how she does this week, and then we'll go from there. But for right now, I think A- is more than fair. I think there's a lot of improvement coming for this filly. She's a very, very nice filly. Got a good attitude, decent breeding. I'm interested to see what the rest of 2024 looks like for Fire and Shine. Look at this work.
I was going to give her a B+.
Oh, that's me.
Why?
Did you not see her race the other day? You didn't, did you?
No.
We'll watch her race after. Trust me when I tell you it was impressive. You do what you want, but I think you do need to hear that information. She raced very good. She sat last, way back, circled the entire field, and was flying at the wire. 56-3 last half, 56 last quarter, 28. Maybe 27-4, but definitely an impressive mile. May sway you from your B list.
She's still winning over forever.
That was one of the big changes we made. How are we doing in the swimming? Good, yeah. It's over? How do we do?
I already told you.
Oh, that was it? Oh, I thought, no, I'm sorry. As we drive through Lansing, Michigan. There's a big highway.
Raced here before.
No,
We came here for...
Yeah, you raced in Lansing at that fair.
I never raced in Michigan in my life before
We
Monday.
came for a conference.
I came to speak here. You guys were with us.
Right.
That's right. You were with me. Yep.
Okay, Foxy Seaside.
Foxy Seaside. Go ahead.
Foxy. Ooh, that's hard.
Take your time.
B+.
Okay. Tell me.
B+ because for so long we were like actually considering her going to the next generation, and she just kind of tapered a little bit. Now I know that you've left her down in Scioto for the bigger track, so it's not entirely her fault, but I just
Foxy Seaside, fast filly, but mentally is not matured to where she needs to be. Physically, she's good. I don't think she has any ailments, but I think she has some crutches that she leans on, which is a little disappointing sometimes. Nothing terribly serious. She doesn't have a bad attitude. She has a good work ethic. Just mentally, she's quite a bit behind where I'd like to see her. I think she's a B+ also. I'm going to relegate my A list for at least horses that are doing it right and want to do it right and understand their work. And although she's fast, she's already took a mark of 56-1 and looked good doing it. In fact, the horse that she dead heated with just won a race at 51. So very good filly, but you have to be the total package. She's not mentally in an A list right now, so I agree, B+ for Foxy Seaside.
Freedom Hill, A+.
Freedom Hill A+. I agree with that. I think she's going to get better, but not so much better that she'd be like A to A+. I think she's just going to be a little bit better form of herself. She's coming into her own, but she already does everything perfectly, so I agree. An A+ for Freedom Hill. It would be almost impossible to not give her an A+.
Gaslight, I was going to give... Actually, had he not qualified the other day, I may not have given him an A-, even an A-, but he did qualify very well.
27
He almost
yeah.
could have been on the other list that we made.
Yeah.
The top 10.
Yep.
But I would say he deserves an A from his qualifier and for overcoming, adversity. But I do think that he's just getting started, so he can't be at the top
Yep.
of his ceiling. So A-, A.
No, you have to
I'm
pick
gonna pick A.
Okay. So Gaslight Hall, you're right. I'm going to explain his situation a little bit more. A lot of times, more times than not, and especially with the muscle masses, I've found their knees start to bother them a little bit when you really start pouring the work to them. Sometimes they can push through it, they mature. Sometimes they need some help, a little management, some adequate polyglycan, back off with them, give them time. And some of them need the year. Some of them get turned out. Now, the veterinarian had actually recommended potentially turning this horse out. His knees were bothering him quite a bit. And what I decided against that for the simple reason we talked about how long it takes for bone to remodel and fill in. It's at 6 to 8 week mark. And rather than just stop with them, which I thought was an easy way out, 2 hours.
Again?
Babe, we're like an hour and 45 minutes, you turd. So,
It doesn't change. Ask like twice.
So, when it came to Gaslight Hall, we decided put him in the pool, jog him slow, keep him moving, and he'll tell us when he's ready to train, and that's exactly what we did. We got him down to where he was swimming and jogging, swimming and slow training. Then we cut out the swimming and focused on land training. We got him trained down exactly on the time frame I wanted him trained down on. Qualified him, and even I didn't know how good he was. Dominic raved about how good he'd been, how much he liked him. I jogged him. I thought the horse was great. And then when Sylvain went with him the other day, now this is the thing. He can get a little pacey sometimes, and they said he was getting better and better and better. Sylvain put him on the gate first the other day. This horse never been on the gate in his life. Never seen a gate in his life. Maybe the gate of Joe's at the farm, but has never seen a starting gate. And for Sylvain just to slap him right up on the wing, first crack, that was impressive. And never got pacey, never offered to run. You could easily just say that was a 3-year-old coming back and nobody would know the difference. He looked very good. 2 minutes, last quarter, 27-4. I think mentally he's got it figured out. Physically, he's getting there. But that is what he has. When Amy says he overcome adversity, he was quite sore in his knees. A lot. And I had to tell a couple of my partners, Greg, and said, his knees are bad, and what are we going to do? Is he going to make it? Just take your time. I want everybody to remember these situations. If you're not familiar with the Gaslight Hall situation, it's really hard for me to articulate it properly so you understand it. For those of you that did watch it, you know what I'm talking about, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak, as the saying goes, which is ridiculous. I don't know what the saying means. I don't know why you would skin a cat, but apparently there's more than one way to do it.
Okay.
It's definitely a saying. I didn't make it up. Okay. So Gaslight Hall, we opted not to flat out stop with him. We modified his training. We got him to the races, and he couldn't look any better than he did the other day. I'm actually going to give him an plus. I think he's got so much improvement to come. I'm not even going to let him drift into the A category. He's going to A minus for me, but I think by the end of the year, you're going to find he's an A plus. So, next.
Gorgeous package. She deserves an A. For me, anyways. She's going to be a Buckeye filly.
Mm-hmm.
She was our next generation starter. She was a cheap little filly we bought off on gate. You bought off on gate.
Yeah, I think that's important.
You bought off
Thank
on
you.
gate.
Thank you.
And, I mean, we can't ask her to do any more. I don't think.
I'm giving her an A plus because I think she's done her best work. She'll get a little bit better as any athlete will at the top level. She tries her heart out. She does wander sometimes and make mistakes, but she'll learn to get away from that. And she's overcome it a couple of times. I know that if I said they can get better, I can't give them an A plus, but I just don't think you're going to see her go winning 51. You're going to see her hover around 54. You might see her pace 53 in a piece some night, but it's overcome a lot to be the filly she is. I'm proud of who she is and what she's become. I'm giving her an A plus because she was meant to be a C and ended up an A. She deserves to be an A plus, and she is in my mind.
It's unfair for me to grade the next horse because I haven't.
Let me guess. Is it High Hopes?
No. I left when he had just come back in.
Who is it?
Field, Grand Old Chap.
Oh, Grand Old Chap. I would consider him still turned out. He's jogging, he's training miles at 255, 257, 253, but he's not going anywhere. So I'm not going to grade him today because we don't have a whole lot to grade him on. What are we going to grade him on? He hasn't been anywhere near racehorse speed. He eats good. Looks good. He's an A plus for eating.
Yeah.
But he's getting there. So we're not going to grade Grand Old Chap today.
Grand Slam Deo, I need to tread carefully because I know she's your favorite horse.
She's not my favorite horse. I like her a lot. She's not my favorite horse.
Still looking for her to wow me. I don't know why. I think because of your opinion of her all year. I've never even jogged her. I think one time I was terrified the entire time.
What? She kicks? She
And
doesn't kick anymore. She only kicked.
I just, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we're looking for a grade.
I know. I think I'm gonna give her a B plus because I don't want to say she's let me down because she hasn't. I mean, she made it. She's there. She's holding her own. She raced great down in Kentucky. But I do, and maybe it's just because I know we paid $100,000 for her and whatever her siblings. But I just think she needs to.
Just looking for a grade.
I gave her a B.
Okay, and then I said B plus. Yeah, I'm giving her an A minus because mentally she's smart. She's figured out. If you just saw her race the other day, it was rainy, muddy, and disgusting. And I was off the rail. And I was way back, and I look up, and I'm like, the race is over. Like I'm a country mile behind everybody. She come charging on the outside, finished up good to the point where I had asked Scotty if he'd qualify her without hobbles. Now Eric doesn't think she'll trot without hobbles on, and I said, you know what? It's as simple as this: put her in to qualify. Have Scotty go last trip with her, and if he says, no, this filly's not going to trot without hobbles, then don't qualify her without hobbles. Who cares? I don't care. And I'm sure she'll be, down here. Do this up here. I'm sure she'll be just fine. Is she going to be a sire stake horse? No, not this year, but she's so much bigger now than she was. Mentally, she understands her game. She was closing in on that horse the other day. Worked smart. Before you couldn't take her off the gate. Now she's just smarter now. She's doing her work better now. She's a much more efficient trotter. And I'm going to give her an A minus because I think she's going to get a lot better. But I can't say that it's going to happen today, tomorrow, a month from now, or even in 2024. But I think we're sitting on a really nice filly here with this filly. And she's always going to be at worth. This is Up Your Dio's sister. She's always going to have worth. She's a really nice filly. Let's let her become that filly. So I'm giving her an A minus.
Green glitter.
Green glitter? I think green glitter is nice. I've said it for 3-4 months. My only concern with green glitter was I didn't know where her ceiling was. Unfortunately, she's got a smaller gas tank and a more shallow ceiling. I can't do anything about that. Just is what it is. But she raced very good in her last race. She always leaves you with that feeling that she's not putting out the way she should. I compared her to Enzo forever because they are very similar. Very similar. I can tell you she could be a better horse if she wanted to be. She's not sour. She's not a pig. She just isn't as good as I think she could be. And we're just going to have to deal with it. thought her race the other day was adequate. I think she's going to spend most of her life being somewhere between adequate and pretty good. But she's never going to achieve that level I think she could be at if she put in that extra effort. That can go for everybody, in every athlete, in every walk of life. So I'm not disappointed. I guess I am a little bit. I'm not angry. I'm a little disappointed, but I think she's going to be a decent filly. I'm going to give her a B because I know she can be better. But she would be the best B you're going to find at any point in August. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to give her a B, but I didn't want you to be upset.
Oh, really? You thought I'd be upset?
Yeah.
Hey, do you have anything to add?
No.
Okay.
Gymboree, this is a tough one. Because
I'm waiting.
really like her. Gymboree, she isn't, in my opinion, not showing us 100% of what she's capable of. And I am projecting into next year. So
No, this list is for this year.
I know, but that's why I'm not giving her. I'm gonna give her an A- because she's going to get better.
Okay. I'm going to give her an A. The last race you can throw out. Don't just pretend it never happened. It was my fault, my mistake. I understand what took place. It was a rare situation where the track was in bad shape, but really bad along the rail. Everybody was out a little bit, and I wasn't with Gymboree, and it was my fault. I know that Scott went from thinking she was okay when we first raced her to thinking she was decent to her last start thinking she was very good. I think she is a very good filly. I think she's going to get better every week. I think she's going to end the year decently. I don't think I think I'll agree with you. I think you're going to see her best work come in 2025. But I think she is a solid A filly in 2024. Her next start will tell the tale, but I suspect you're going to see a infinitely improved race from last week, which was unfortunate at the very least, to next week, which I believe will be. So I'm giving her an A, you're giving her an A-. Who's next?
High hopes.
Do you want to go?
No.
I'm giving High Hopes B+. Because of her improvement. Is she a killer? No. She got the thumps the other day. Just an electrolyte imbalance is not a hard thing to fix. We just have to stay on top of it. What I like about this filly is she was a real pig when we started her. She ignorant. Even when it come to something stupid like learning to go on the trailer, it took forever to get her on the first time, hard to get her on the second time. Now they said she was a little hard to load the other day, but I walked her right in. She was fine. I don't think she's a great horse, but I think she's going to be a nice filly to race. I'm trying to find a comparison in my mind. Would be like Purple People Eater. Maybe not quite as good because Purple was really good at 2. But when you look at where Purple is right now, it's not shocking. She's an okay horse. I think High Hopes might get there. And I think it's unfair. Purple People Eater is a better horse. But it's a similar situation, only I don't think High Hopes has or will capitalize on what Purple did at 2. She has not, so in that regard she is inferior to her, but I think when all shakes out and all the cards are on the table, I think they'll be very similar horses at this point in their 3-year-old year. How Hopes gets there, I don't know, but I do like her gait. Her attitude's improved. I like her. She's not a killer, but I think she's an okay horse. I'm giving her a B+ because she's improved quite a bit, but she's borderline B.
Yeah, I was gonna give her a B or a B- just because I think she holds herself back. I think she is her own worst enemy.
If you were sitting behind her, you wouldn't say that. The last 3 times I went with her, she tried her ass off. She tried hard. And the other day, I thought she bled. And when I found out right away, you could tell. When I got off the bike, I said, I think she might have bled. We got a scope her. I said, I could see the way that she was pumping. She was blowing really hard in her guts. And I said, you might want to get the vet to listen to her heart also. And that's when they said she was thumping a little bit. So we can fix that. We can work with that. No blood, no mucus. So we can work with that. I don't think she's a killer, but I do believe she is trying. I'll give her that. She is trying.
I don't play nice.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give him a B+, mostly because he's just being silly right now. He trained down perfectly. Ava could have trained him all winter, and now we're making breaks and being silly, and that's just frustrating.
I'm a little concerned concerned with his Eye of the Tiger. I don't know if he really, he reminds me of who he looks like. His left hand looks very similar to her, but I expect.
But I've always said to you, we had this argument many times over training down. He does not feel like he has that sprint speed. He doesn't feel like he's okay, you can be a grinder, but he just never gave me the impression that he would just come off someone's helmet and
There's no other horse like that. Arrowhead Hanover always had that kind of present feel to him, but he felt like he could sprint, and then he did, right? So you're right in that regard. But as the horses grow up and mature, that can form, can take shape, but it is not. You're right. He still is the same horse, and I can assure you, for all my partners right now, if we give him the time off and bring him back, and that's a trait that he retains, he will not be staying with us very much longer. I can assure you of that. But it's not the reason he is still with us. It's not his attitude, or it doesn't feel like it's work ethic. It just feels like he's a big, growthy, lanky colt. Okay, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and that is where we're at with I Don't Play Nice. I think that sums it up in a nutshell. You said B?
yes.
I'm giving him a B- because I expect a lot more from this colt. You can't go from being a week away from being our next generation colt to being turned out in August without turning some heads. B- for me. He has a lot to do when he comes back.
Also not comfortable grading on my truck.
No, he's been good. But 242 they were the other day. I told them no more hobbles on him until he can train down without hobbles comfortably. I don't want to hear about it. And he's been in 242, and they said he's getting better every week. He is maturing. He is growing up. It's hard to grade a Michigan horse. Say, he's by, I don't even know who he's by, Rompaway Wally. Yeah. So we had one Rompaway Wally when he was an Ohio bred about 6 or 7 years ago. He turned out to be a mongrel. So I'm not saying this horse is, because I actually like Charlie. I like everything about him. And I think as he gets sounder and sounder and sounder, you're going to see a decent horse emerge. Where that horse starts and ends, I have no idea. We will abstain from grading him because it's unfair to grade him at 242. So we will.
And then the next two also, I'm ready to and Leggy.
Same things. Yeah. Leggy got injured. I'm ready to. His knees were sore. We retained them because they both showed enough talent to do so. 100%. We're not grading them tonight.
Manhattan Money. I know you've always had a soft spot for this horse. Sometimes I think that you give him an easier pass than
before you get too far ahead of yourself, he cut it out the other day with an ear hood on him, a second, beat a quarter of a length in 57-1. Before you go too far down that rabbit hole.
What rabbit hole?
Because I don't think you realize how fast he'd been. I just want to make sure you are well aware of all the information. He was beaten quarter of a length, 57-1.
It's actually hard for me to do this because, like you said, I haven't seen these horses physically.
Well, in fairness, if you watch them on TV, no, you watch most of them on Kelly's last quarter. You didn't even watch the race of Manhattan Money. I would bet any one of my fingers or toes you did not turn on that full video. Yep.
Is it? So then why am I grading them?
Because you're supposed to be paying attention. You didn't know how Manhattan Money raced or how I ended up in the front.
All I'm saying to you is that when we were training and you told everybody that he might be our best horse.
He could be.
That's not
because he's a big horse. He will improve, and he could become a very good 3-year-old. He's not our best 2-year-old. In fact, he's not even in the top 10 of either our lists because he hasn't done enough, which is fair. But he possesses the attitude and the speed to be a big. When you see that big, giant gate, obviously the horse can be better. 2 hours. Addie Bear, 1 hour and 30 minutes, babe. So Manhattan Money, 1, I think he's doing well. 2, he's improving. 3, he doesn't have a bad quality other than that little switch he can throw where he may injure somebody.
Yes.
Other than that, what are you grading him? I'm not grading your horse.
I was going to grade him a B+.
Okay, I was giving him an A-, because the A should be relegated to horses that are doing it right. He's not doing anything wrong, and he's improving. So it's hard for me to say you're not an A horse. It feels to me like he's doing the best he can do, and he's doing it right. It's really hard for me not to give him an A of some form. So I'm going to give him an A- for that regard. I don't blame you for saying B+. I think he's an A- horse. He was just beating a stallion series.
Yeah, based on his last start. What about the start when he made a break?
Yeah, he got scared. Something scared him. Well, I mean, he's still a baby trotter. That's the only break he's ever made. Listen, I'm always going to stick up for horses to do the work. I just drove by the bathroom. You guys are paying attention. I should stop the next one. Okay, next.
Melisandre.
Oh, you can go ahead. I'm curious to hear this one. B plus. You're right. You can't give her an A. She isn't there yet. I have been enough with her where I'm starting to get happy. I think she's going to grow into a nice filly. Her mental understanding of her job sometimes is concerning, but I can honestly say 100% wholeheartedly that I've seen lots of horses like her that start the race and just get better right away. Starting them at the right time is important. I think we'll qualify her not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday at the Meadows, and then take her to Kentucky and qualify her there. The biggest problem we have moving forward is Eric is going to hear this and realize that we have about 3 or 4 stalls needed, and I think he's a little uncomfortable doing that. So we'll see how that plays out. One way or another, Melisandre and Captain Incredible are going to Kentucky, 100%. So, Melisandre B+, I don't think you're wrong. In fact, I think it would be unjust, especially when I just told you how you get to the A level. She isn't there physically or mentally yet. She hasn't raced yet. It's not like she's wowed anybody just yet. She's just done her work well, flown under the radar, and has been given time. So B+, I think, is fair across the board. And I'm surprised she went there. But anyway, okay.
Memento Mori A+.
A+ for Memento Mori. We don't have to take a lot of time figuring out why. The horse is a killer. He's a nice horse. He's going to race in every major race from here to the end of the year. How he does, I don't know, but I guarantee you he will improve as the year goes on, as he's supposed to. He's an A+. And if he's not an A+ in your mind, you're out of your mind. A+.
Mountaineer Prince, I'd like to grade him after tomorrow.
Well, he's been an F so far. There's no way about it. You can't trot 2-1. I can't train you in 2-1 and you not show one flat line in your life. It just doesn't happen. I want to believe that this is a mental issue, and I think it stops tomorrow.
Yes.
And if it does, that may not even move the needle that much. That even might make me more angry that I have to come.
I agree.
that I had to come to Michigan. And it's not a Donnie problem. Donnie's an experienced horse person. But for this horse to be this ignorant and rude, and I every time I've gone with him, he's been perfect. I can honestly say I've never gone with Mountaineer Prince Golf Bikes and I don't know what is wrong with this horse. He's always been perfect when I went with him. So I don't understand what he's doing. But I'm going to get to the bottom of it tomorrow. I can assure you of that. So it's hard to grade him. No, it's not hard to grade him. No, he's an F right now. An F. He has
you're
failed.
Giving him
zero credit.
Zero credit for training down for 8 months.
Who cares? He is here to do his work. He has failed across the board. If it's his attitude, it's an F.
Yeah, you're right.
Physically, there's nothing wrong with him. And he's done nothing but make breaks. It is an F across the board. I think he's a good horse, but he has done the opposite of that since he's entered the state of Michigan. It's not Donnie Harmon's fault. There's no reason for these breaks to be going on. I gave him every chance to make a break when I trained him in 2-1. He never lifted his snout, not one time. And that is a very good word.
Yes.
So we'll see. He's an F today, but we all know he's a much better horse than that. You may not, because you haven't sat behind him or seen him go a flat mile. I've seen him plenty. This horse here is much better. Much better. Well, how couldn't he be? Much better than he's shown, and I want to see what he does tomorrow.
My Wicked Heart.
My Wicked Heart is...
Dude, literally 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes, I told you that. My Wicked Heart is not a good horse. She was always on the bubble of almost being good enough, and we just haven't really found the right time to sell her. We probably aren't going to keep My Wicked Heart, but it's not because of her attitude.
No.
Not because of her attitude, nor her work ethic. If you took her attitude and work ethic and put it into any horse with more ability, we would have the absolute sire stake horse or better. I can't fault her for that, and that's really why she's still here. That's the only reason she's still here, is because she's got a good work ethic. Now, she races in 5 minutes. I'd love to see her go and look very, very good in Dresden, or in Clinton.
Is it?
250 in Clinton. Yes, it is. So I'm going to give her a B minus. I just feel it would be unfair to not reward her for her trying, and her attitude, and her work ethic. It's not her fault that God didn't make her a faster horse. It just is what it is, but she is a B minus.
And that's why I said, like, a couple times when I came in from training,
can't fault her for her trying. Everything aside from her overall abilities, an A+.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Never lose Felix. Never been a huge fan of this horse.
Well, hold on. He's got a lot of things that he couldn't get over for whatever reason.
He is too big.
Yeah, but he's turned out. We're not marking him. We're not marking him. He's turned out. I think.
You need to update your list.
Okay, well, all right. So that's 2 horses. We'll do that after you're done. Never Lose Felix has been out for 5 weeks.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
And I think between his breeding, I like the international monies. I think his breeding is good. And he's always had issues. Always his knees bothered him. His stifles were always suspect. He's always had issues. We're going to get him to a point where he doesn't. And then he's going to tell us what kind of horse he is. So we're not marking him today. Next.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, he'll know is easily an A-. She's come.
I was going to give her an
No, she's got a ton. She is going to improve so much, this filly. She's got that big, beautiful gait. She's got a decent pedigree, and she's got a great work ethic. The sky is literally the limit. If you wanted to see a horse that is going to show dramatic improvements, just pick one that wants to be a good horse, looks like a good horse, and is bred to be a decent horse. She is going to come forward in a big way. Aaron said to me the other night, you watch the video, you can see one like this after. He goes, you're never going to see a horse win easier than that. He said, what a sweetheart of a horse. He said, and she does nothing wrong and wants to be a better horse every time she goes on the track. Everybody would love to own an Oh He'll Know. A- from me.
Okay, Pelican Al.
You didn't mark.
I said A.
Okay.
And I'm surprised you gave her less than A.
Well, I just think she's got so much improvement. Pelican Owls, we're not marking Pelican Owls today.
Princess Dream, I'm going to give her an A- just because impressed me last week, but we're heading hopefully to the races to see how we fare out.
That's right. I think for the exact same reasons of Oh He'll Know. She didn't win a maiden yet. She didn't win any race yet. But when you look at her sister just winning the Hambo Oaks, her beautiful gait, the way she was the best training down before she got injured, there's no reason to believe her attitude and work ethic's not going to hold her back. She is a very good filly, dialed in, and that time off may have physically helped her. Give her 5-6 starts. You're going to see what we're talking about. This is a nice filly, waiting to be a nice filly. You said A-. I'm actually going to go A, just because I've seen how good she can be when she was training. I'm giving her an A. You can't possibly give her an A+ yet, but you will soon enough.
And then same with Resolve and Needs right now.
Yeah,
so
exact
I would
same.
just grade them the same.
They're in lockstep. They look nothing the same. They aren't bred the same. But when it comes to what they could do on the track, A for me too.
Roser and AJ, I was going to give, I don't know.
Can you?
Are
Are
you disappointed at all in
Anybody
where
that
he's
says,
landed?
I wish he was a gold horse. Listen, he paced, 53 the other day, maybe 52 in a piece. Here, I'll make it simple for both of us. He's an A+ because he has done everything he can possibly do to be a good horse. There isn't anything he does where you can say, I can improve on that, I can improve on that.
Yeah.
I was talking to Marco the other day, and we talked about taking the dog chain off. So the dog chain has just allowed us for him to be a better horse. We take that dog chain off, he's not going to run away faster.
No.
The horse is perfect. He does nothing wrong. You know what we should do? Be happy that we have a nice horse. Because I can tell you this, if you have a 2-year-old pacer that can pace 53, I don't care where you're at, you can find a spot for him to do good. He's an A+ because he's a nice horse and has turned into the horse we wanted him to be. Unfortunately, other people have really nice horses, and that freak of Burks is a freak.
Yeah. And then,
Alexandra?
yeah.
It's pretty hard. I'm going to give her an A- or an A because I know she's going to get
Yeah.
better. She
She's only
isn't
had a couple.
even remotely close to where we're scratching the surface on this filly, and she's already impressive. Got to give her an A. Can't give her an A+ because there's a ton of improvement coming. Very nice filly. She is the filly we watch train down. It's just a matter of watching it all unfold. I love this filly, and I think she is going to be a very, very nice horse for us. A.
Same with, I'm just going to give Rosetta also an A because I do think she's going to race even better coming in the
I
next
think she will. She 1,000% will. She's an A for the same reason. Very good filly. Did her work right. Last quarter in 27-4 in her second lifetime start. 2 seconds now in her life. right? 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just a very, very good horse. She's an A. You're 100% on.
The next three are not graded. She sits at the bar. Idex is out.
Yeah, out in the field.
And Speed of Sound is out.
All out in the field. All
And
horses
then-
are very hopeful. I think every human being that follows the stable or is one of our partners and she sits at the bar, you hope she comes back. It was just one of the, luckily we kept her. Luckily we didn't lose her. She's just, it was probably one of the saddest moments of the stable this entire season was the injury to this filly. And yes. No, we have supper coming up after a bit. We're not eating any candy right now. But thank you for asking. Oh, good one. So she sits at the bar, is just hopeful. It would be a Cinderella story for her to return from this injury and make it to where we hoped she'd be. And hope, all we have is hope at this point. She's a good horse. The other two horses have turned out. I think Speed of Sound is going to be a really nice horse. She exhibited talent, just got too big, and so did Idex. So we'll see how they come back. But that's why they were turned out, and that's why we're not grading them today.
Trevino and Green.
Turned out, I'm not going to grade him. And it'd be unfair. The horse trained in 2.5 2 or 3 times. It's not like he didn't make it or he was terrible. We just decided that he needed some time to grow up. And I don't think it would be fair to fault him on anything he's done. So we're not grading him because he's out in the field.
Okay. Westland Warrior.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I don't want to go first.
Western Warrior is a B+. There's a lot of improvement. He should almost be in the A category, but I know that he's got so much work to do, I can't put him there. Last quarter, 27-4 in his last outing is improved. I think we have him fixed. Even Scotty was impressed with him, but we need to see consistency. Show me this week. Show me what you can do this week, and then we'll go from there. So Westland Warrior, I'm giving him a B+.
I was gonna give him a B.
Okay?
I'm still not over the whole make it all the way around the track and run down the lane.
He's pacey, and I think I know why. I think that's fixed. I don't think you're going to see that happen anymore from him.
Okay. What a lady, what a night.
I'm giving her a B.
Yeah, I can't grade her.
I was very happy with the way she trained leading up to her qualifier. Disappointed, but she did bleed. We will put her on Lasix. She will race in Illinois next start. I'm going to defer any talk of her until I speak to Jim and see what he thinks. Very sharp horseman, and I think she could be a good horse. Let's see if she is. Okay. I bet she's pretty much turned out. I mean, we can't do anything with an injury. I think this was one of our better pacers across the board. Just didn't get an opportunity to be a better horse, and I suspect that will change when we get her to the races, whenever that is. So she won't be marked either. Those are all your 2-year-olds graded at the stable.